Welcome to the LeBauer Show. This is the #1 show for passionate physical therapy and healthcare entrepreneurs looking to level up their income and impact on the world. If that's you, then you're in the right place. So sit back, chill out, and let's get into the show.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the LeBauer Show. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you a ton. Hey, before we even get into the show, if you've gotten anything from this show, I know you haven't got anything from this episode yet, but if you got anything from this show, Cash PT, Lunch Hour, etc., I would really appreciate something. If you could do me a favor, could you either share the show with a friend, shout me out on Instagram and tag me, or really even I just appreciate a 5-star rating and review. So whether it's on Spotify, iTunes, or somewhere else, so other people can see the show, get access to it. Because, how do I help 100 million people? I can't do it by myself. I can't talk to that many people in my life, I don't think. But if you share it and you'll help other people learn more about business, entrepreneurship, and maybe even help someone you don't know. So anyways, if you could help someone, help me help other people, I would greatly appreciate a rating and review about the show. Leave an honest review. If you hate the show, leave me a 1-star review, but I can't imagine you'd be listening to it right now. Maybe this is your first time listening to the show and you're like, whatever, that guy, that'd be totally fine. But I'd appreciate an honest rating and review. You could leave a 4-star or 5-star review, but you know what? Before you leave me a 3-star review, send me a message and let me know why. That would be cool. I'll fix it and change it. Maybe you just don't like my red hair. Totally fine. But let's get into the show. So today, I want to talk about the freedom formula, the physical therapy freedom formula, occupational therapy freedom formula, the entrepreneur freedom formula. Let's just talk about the freedom formula. This is something that I maybe haven't articulated as well in the past, but it's something that it's what people want. Everyone wants freedom. And so we can define freedom in a few different ways. I define it as marketing systems and sales. So if you've seen our nonprofit accelerators model, or you've been to one of my webinars and we've talked about it, it's it. Freedom. What does freedom mean? Freedom means that I can do whatever the fuck I want, when I want. And there's also a part of freedom that creates, it's like a freedom paradox. Craig Ballantyne taught me this part, right? He articulated it. It's like you got so much freedom, you don't know what you want to do. And it's hard to make choices. So I can go where I want, I can eat what I want, I can wear what I want, and now I've got choice, and that makes life difficult. So it's why I only wear blue, gray, black, and white these days, is because I don't have to worry about what matches with the red or green sweater or shoes. It reduces that anxiety. But let's talk about freedom. You really want freedom. So what is freedom? Freedom means you can treat patients the way you want. It means you can eat where you want. You can go where you want. You can work when you want. You can travel when you want. I just got back from a week in Laguna Beach for my mastermind. So I think maybe you've probably already heard me talk about it. And I was out there. I left on a Monday evening, and I was out there through Saturday. And guess what? I made money while I was out there. I didn't sell anything while I was out there. But my businesses made money. I made money. My bank account grew, which is really dope. That's freedom. Garrett Gunderson was one of the guest speakers, and he talked about economic independence. And it's when your cash flow or your assets, your assets from your dividends from your assets equals or is greater than your monthly expenses. So do you have assets that bring in $20,000 a month to cover your monthly expenses, or $10,000 a month? My goal is to have assets that bring in $40K a month. And when I do that, that's going to cover all my expenses and the things I want to do with my kids and the travel that I want to do. And that's going to be dope. So do I have economic independence? I got economic freedom. Do I have that? I probably, depending on how we measure it, I probably have that, but I don't have it to the level that I want it. Where I actually want it is I want that economic independence to come from businesses that are not Aaron LeBauer facing, if that makes sense. So my clinic has Aaron LeBauer on the front. The consulting business is Aaron LeBauer on the front. I want to create that independence from assets outside of my two main businesses. And, I'm always working on it. That's going to take investing in, some stocks and probably some real estate and maybe other businesses. And to me, that's when I'll have economic independence. Right now I have economic freedom. And so what is freedom? Freedom means I can do whatever I want. Can I buy the boat that has a boat in the boat? No. But do I want to do that? Not really. I don't know that I want to be an oil tycoon or sink a lot of money into a bunch of boats. But there's things that I'd love to be able to do. I'd love to be able to go, heli skiing 4 weekends a year, fly to Zurich, go skiing there. Could I do that? Yeah, but it'd be a stretch right now. Honestly, it'd be a stretch. I could do it. I could do pretty much anything I want, but what I want is those things to be like bonus and not like a stretch. And you're probably stretching to do a lot of things. So I think a lot of people come in and they have this problem. I had someone message me the other day and they're like, yeah, when I go to Con Ed, I pay to go to the Con Ed, but I'm also not generating revenue in my business, in my practice. And so I'm kind of double dipping. I've been doing this for 10 years and I'm ready to make a change. So, when you go out of town, whether it's a vacation, Con Ed, or something like that, you're taking days off and you're losing revenue while spending money, and you kind of double dip in your bank account because money's not coming in and money's going out. And that was a problem that I struggled with for years. It's one of the reasons I didn't go to APTA or CSM, PPS events before 2017 or 2018, because I was like, well, they're not teaching anything that is going to revolutionize my business, honestly, and they're still not. I was like, how do I justify going? And the only way I could justify going wasn't because of what I was going to learn. It was because what I did to leverage it. And I started recording live podcasts at CSM and PPS, and that allowed me to go there to network, to grow my coaching business. And it was some of the best things I did 5 and 6 and maybe 7 years ago. But before that, there wasn't like, I was like, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to spend $250 a night on a on a Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night for PPS in the Broadmoor Hotel. There wasn't a cheaper option nearby, and they're teaching me how to shake doctors' hands. Like, fuck that. I'm not going. Like, right? It's ridiculous. But there are people that want to go learn that kind of thing, and it's fine. And that's one of the reasons we created PT BizCon, was to give cash practice owners a place to go that's going to grow your business. And so one of the other things is, that this problems that people get stuck in, like, I want freedom, I want independence. You get busy, and it feels like in order to grow your business, in order to get new patients in the door, and maybe even to hire someone else, you're going to have to work twice as hard. This is like a money mindset thing. This is kind of what we're trained to think as an employee is, well, I can get a raise, but really to double my income, I got to double the amount of time working. And that's when you're stuck trading hours for dollars or time for money. And other people that don't really know how to fill the other therapist's schedule, they're like, I can hire another therapist, but they're not as busy as me. And you're struggling to stay busy yourself, maybe because you're managing all these other things and you're not really doing the marketing right. You're not offloading patients, etc. Maybe your ego's too big and you're like, no one can treat as well as me. If you think no one can treat as well as you and you're the best person for patients to see, you're going to stay stuck. And I've run into dozens and dozens of physical therapists like that. No one can treat as well as me. People are coming here to see me. Get out of your damn head. Okay? Here's the other problem. You don't want the responsibility of keeping someone else's family alive, which, 15 years ago when I started my practice, everyone told me it wasn't possible. And I was like, why am I going to drag someone else into this? So I didn't hire someone else. I didn't want someone else's livelihood to be on me when everyone around me was telling me it's not possible. But what I'm telling you right now is cash practice works. It's just whether you want it to work for you. So here's the possibility. Here's like what's possible for you in business. You want control of your destiny and control of your life? Well, you can have as much of it as you believe you can. That's for sure. Maybe you believe that God or another being or something else is ultimately in control, and that's totally fine. But the way I see it is, you can't just throw up your hands and not do anything and have a dope life. You have to work for it. You have to work hard. You have to participate in this life. No one else is going to participate in life for you. If so, you're in a codependent relationship, and that's going to be you meet an unhealthy end. If you're like me, you don't want anyone else telling you what to do or what you can't do. When someone tells you what to do or what you should be doing, you feel it in your spine. And then if you have that feeling, then go do it your way. Stop thinking, start doing. Because I certainly didn't get into physical therapy to be told how to treat my patients, not by, in quotes, doctors, not by orthopedic surgeons. Like, I'm not here as a doctor of physical therapy waiting for some surgeon to tell me how to treat a patient. No, man, I know how to treat orthopedic injuries better than you do. I got more years touching people. I can't tell you, you guys have heard me say this. Hundreds of people have told me that they've never been touched where they hurt. That's why I got into PT. I'm in control of my own future. No one else is determining my future. Things may come into my life, and it's up to me to react to them and how I react to them and how I process them. If you want to unlock your earning potential, you need to be able to do the same thing, and you can do it in many ways. And what I do is I show people how to do that with a cash practice, and I show people how to do it the way I did it, whether it's in cash practice or I'm going to show you how to do it using a coaching business model. But there's lots of other models, and there's lots of things like you can have a car dealership or a restaurant, or like maybe you do calligraphy gift cards. Well, man, I can show you how to market and sell. Certainly can. I can't tell you how to manage your inventory because I don't have inventory businesses. I do have some inventory in our business, but not like as the main product. Here's how I create freedom. What did I say? Freedom is marketing. So you got to be able to drive new leads and new inquiries. It's sales. We got to be able to enroll people in the program or sell them the product. And it's the systems. I have to be able to create repeatable processes that other people do or other software does. Okay, I employ two PTs. I try to pay them well. They're both on track to be earning more than most orthopedic therapists do, or at least I think they do for the hours they work. These guys work. They have a much better job, much richer paying environment, like in meaning, money, in what they're doing, who they're working. The team they're on. I can outpay what the APTA suggests, what most people are getting paid in in-network clinics. The goal is can I give you, this is what Owen Johnson said his goal is outpatient pay in home health pay in an outpatient job. That's what cash practice can really do, is give you outpatient pay inpatient pay, home health pay in an outpatient job. Sorry, it's not my name. Owen came up with that, and it is true because I never worked home health, but I know Brandon Smith has helped like dozens of people make over $200K in home health. Here's the thing. Not everyone can do what I do. Not everyone can do what you do. Not everyone in our profession is meant to own their own business. But can we, as a small group, create amazing jobs for some of these people so they stop quitting physical therapy? I know I can. I know you can. And that's really kind of one of the goals. I control my own destiny. I was telling someone, I'm on like my 6th business. I know I'm going to be in more. I've got one that works. I automated it. I'm scaling another, and I'm going to do it again. I've already was talking last night about what that next one is, right? And it's probably going to be outside of physical therapy, or it's definitely going to be outside of Aaron LeBauer's business. It's not. So in order to create freedom for yourself, you have to hire other people, admin, VA, and a therapist. If you're a physical therapist listening to this, you need to be able to hire other PTs, and you need to not get into this being scared to do it. You might not feel ready yet because you're not confident in yourself about your ability to grow your business and to help patients. And if you want real freedom, you're going to have to hire. So just get it in your head that hiring is coming down the road, or you can keep your job until you retire. And you can then post in our group and be like, hey, I'm quitting my job. Who wants to buy it? Like someone did a few years ago. I was like, hey, I'm closing down my cash practice in California. And anyone know a buyer? And I commented, and I was like, well, when are you, because they were moving. I was like, when are you moving? In 2 weeks. I'm like, that isn't even worth the email list because all those people only trust Jennifer. I don't know if his real name is her real name is Jennifer, but you get what I'm saying? When I had to hire someone, I didn't have it all figured out either. But now it's much easier. You got to ask. You got to put up an Indeed ad. You got to know the roles they're going to do. And you got to go, okay, here's what I'm generating. And if you're only charging $75 to $150 an hour for physical therapy, you're not charging enough to pay someone else enough money to make a good salary to stay with you so that you can also have a profit too. That's just not enough money. You got to be well over $200 a visit. And then again, in our mastermind, we're teaching you how not to sell and trade time for money and sell per visit. We're selling programs, packages, not really packages, programs and outcomes. So what do we have to do? We have to have a job description. We have to have a role. We have to have maybe some benefits, and we have to the job description. So there's the duties, and then there's the how are we going to go sell this? Because there's more jobs than there are physical therapists. So when you're going to write a job description these days, you actually have to sell the thing. You have to sell the headline. You have to sell them to read it. You have to sell them to take the next step. And then you can't just hire anyone. You have to have a process for interviewing them that doesn't take up all your time, which we've built. You guys, if you respond to everything on Indeed and everything, and you do a bunch of Zoom interviews, you're going to waste all your time interviewing a bunch of shitty people. So, but I didn't have it all figured out either earlier, and I had to reach out to others for help. And that's one of the things we help our mastermind members do is once you get to around the 20K mark, we start the process to, you want to actually grow your business, you hire. So right around 20K, one therapist in a cash practice, you're going to hit this inflection point where you're going to get busy and you can't market, and then your income will drop, and then you'll have time to go market, and you go up and down, and it'll just kind of like bounce around there, and you're going to decide, how are you going to spend your free time? Do you want to spend it treating patients and traveling without generating income, or do you want to hire and build a team, or do we automate your marketing so that you don't have to worry about the marketing and you can spend your free time building an online program? Thing is if you take that right turn and you go build an online program, you're going to be in this bouncing state for at least a year unless you've already built an audience. Building an audience of people that trust you for this next thing is the most difficult stage. It's so much easier to go and hire someone else and do more of what you were already doing than it is to go and do the shiny object, let me build an online business because that's what other people are doing and it creates freedom and Aaron did it, etc. I mean, there's a couple differences. I didn't just decide, hey, let me go do this. I had been helping people along the way. When I decided to test and see if there was something to sell, it wasn't because I wanted to sell anything. It's because people were asking me, like, I need help. I need you to help me. I'm like, I can't do enough. All these one-on-one calls, I have to create a way to help people without taking my time away from my patients. So that's this inflection point. In order to hire, in order to grow, in order to have freedom, you need to change your mindset. Time is money. Actually, time is more important than money. So when you're hiring, you're not hiring someone to make more money. So if you come to me and you go, Aaron, I hired someone and now my income's dropped. Woe is me. What am I doing wrong? This isn't working. You're looking at it the wrong way. Especially your first hire. Your first hire saves you time. Even your second hire, they save you time so that you can work on bigger things to build your business, to do the marketing, to do the sales, not to take out the trash, to clean the toilets, to call patients back, even to treat the patients. Time is actually more important than money. So what we're going to do is we're going to use money to buy you time back. And that's what we're going to do when we hire. When you're hiring, you're buying back your time so you can spend it on the important things to grow your business. You can hire and then go try to start a second business, but you have to go through that whole foundation phase again, and it takes a while, and people get discouraged and they go, oh, this isn't working, and look, my clinic dropped. And I tell people all the time, don't let shiny object syndrome seduce you. I don't actually use the word seduce, but it is. The easy, pretty thing is going to start to seduce you. But if you're on this path of growing one business, man, stick with it until that thing is automated. Or you have the time to do the other thing without worrying about the income fluctuating. Because as soon as the income drops and you freak out, don't come to me and tell me it's not working. Let go of the outcome around who to hire and how they treat and what to pay. This is the problem that people have. They're like, oh, you don't treat the way I do. You're not a perfect, replacement of me. You're not me. Look, I'm just serious here. This is all your ego talking. Hire people that are better than you at the thing that you're hiring them for, okay? And then just trust the process. Let them treat people. Give them parameters. Give them an outline, a guide, a framework of how we treat. So in my clinic, we listen, touch, and empower. And Caitlin was teaching this to someone the other day, and she said exactly the same thing. And I was just like, oh my God, this is awesome. I haven't talked to her about this in a long time, but we need to listen to people. We need to touch them where they hurt, and we need to empower them to take care of their health and to treat themselves at home and give them the right exercises. And in between those lines, she can kind of do whatever she wants. But I also grabbed her out of PT school and paid for some of the training to give her a good foundation of the things that are important to me and my business. Right? So just let go of the outcome. Trust me that you need to move patients from your schedule to the other therapist's schedule first to make it a priority. Even if your patient's like, oh, we just want to see you, Aaron. Well, there's a couple exact scripts that you need to use to do that. And it's all about mindset and make it easy. So just let go of the outcome. Don't let your ego get in the way and you'll be all right. So freedom formula, take a dream, add a business to it, and then divide it by your team. I think it's something like that. You got to have a dream and a why. You got to know what you want. And you're really not going to do it working for someone else unless you're an entrepreneur and you have unlocked revenue potential. But if you don't have any risk, you're not really going to get there. So to me, take a dream and a goal, make it meaningful, add a business to it, and then take both of those. It's something like dream plus business, divide it, in brackets, and then divide it by a team. You got to have a team of people helping you implement and execute and deliver. And that's freedom, because then you'll be able to generate revenue while you're doing dope shit, or traveling with your family, or going and learning how to work and better your business like I did last week. I got to go to Laguna Beach. That's the freedom formula. So if you own a physical therapy business, even maybe you're an occupational therapist, you're not completely satisfied with your growth, your revenue, the amount of free time you have, your ability to travel and to go places while still growing your bank account, and you just want to speed up your path to success, like I know you'll probably get there if you keep doing some of the same things. But if you keep doing the same thing and get no results, like we got to do something different. But for a lot of you out there, you already know like how to do this. Here's the key. You just want to get there faster. Okay? If you just want to get there faster and maybe learn a few things along the way and do it with some cool people who have the same mission as you, then what I'd love to do is invite you to hop on a new patient strategy call with me or someone on my team so we can brainstorm some ideas and build a game plan together. And then if we build a game plan and we feel comfortable, then we can talk about how do we work together. But we're not going to talk about that first. If you want to hop on one of these free 15-minute new patient strategy calls, go to callwithaaron.com. Callwithaaron.com. It's like Aaron. Go in there, book in a call. You'll get an email from me. Give me a shout out. Let me know you booked in a call, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace out. Hey, what's up? It's Aaron. Thanks for listening to the show. If you enjoyed the episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a 5-star rating and review over on iTunes. And to catch all the latest from me, follow me over on Instagram at Aaron LeBauer. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.